Hey everybody, this is iCrafts and I am actually back for the first time in about 3.5 months with another Rainbow Loom tutorial. I am kind of back. I'm still probably going to be doing toy reviews, but I decided it's been a long enough break, and before I didn't enjoy filming tutorials, but I wanted to give it another chance because maybe a break was just what I needed. Maybe I'm actually going to enjoy it. So I didn't want to make any promises before because I didn't want to let anyone down, but anyways, this is the Wasabi Bracelet designed by londonloomer. I'll put all the information on the screen with all the hashtags and everything. And this might look similar to some other bracelets. It has the brushstrokes border designed by, I believe, Tiger Girl. The back might also look familiar, but I think it's unique because the sides look pretty different from each other. And if you enjoyed this video and are excited that I'm going to be doing more tutorials in the future, then go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. And without further ado, let's just get started. So as far as supplies go, I will of course be using a rainbow loom and a metal tipped hook as usual. And I do recommend you use 2 looms because this is a pretty short bracelet. I'm just going to use one to save time. And I'm going to be using white for the border. In this bracelet I used the glitter white diamond bands. And then for the inside, in this bracelet, I used pastel light mint and blue, but I'll be using these hippie mix bands today. So you'll also need a C-clip or S-clip, and then we can jump right into making this bracelet. So the border is like in a lot of bracelets. It's just going to be going outwards, the left and the right, and then all the way up both pin bars, stopping right here, and then closing it off. So nothing super special at all. And I forgot to mention this, but it would probably be better to use some stretchier bands for the border because I did break a band in this bracelet. These new glitter bands aren't really that stretchy. White bands or just any opaques would work well, and jellies would work even better. So limited edition bands, you can use them, but don't be surprised if your bands break. But I'm closing it off like I mentioned. And then you should just have a simple border. Now the rest of the band placement is also fairly straightforward. You're just going to be making arrows. So I'm starting with my red and I'm just going to go inwards on both sides. And then the pegs above. Also going inwards, and you're just going to be doing the same shape until you get to the top of your loom, stopping there. And this placement is probably familiar with a few other bracelets. So I will be back once I've reached the top of my loom. So I finished off in the exact same way that I started, just doing arrows throughout my entire loom, making a single chain with whatever color you want. I'm using the border color, and this should also be pretty stretchy because this is the part where I broke my bands in the last bracelet. We're just going to make a single chain up the entire middle pin bar. And the lighting is getting super blue right now, but I'll try to fix that when I'm editing. And then that is it for the band placement. So now we're going to move on to the looping process, which is a little bit more complicated, so you might want to just keep pausing the video because I do kind of go fast, but I'll try to slow down this video. So the first thing I'm going to do is the single chain. And to go inside the cap band, I'm grabbing the top band, and instead of looping it forward, I'm going to go out to this peg on the left and then also stretch it across to the right. So there's a lot of tension here, but just take it slow and you'll have a better chance of your band's not working. This is also the same looping in the stereo bracelet if you've made that. It's also on my channel. And then I'm going to grab the next band, also looping it out to the left and stretching it across to the right. So I'm going to keep doing this up until the top of my loom. If you need to see it slower, then you can, if you're on a computer or maybe a tablet, then you can go to the settings on YouTube and you can go to speed and you can slow it down if you need to. And some of my bands are overlapping, but I'm always just looping the white bands in the center, not touching any other ones. And then the last band left and stretching it across. So that is placement. I'll zoom in here. Or the looping, sorry. And next we're going to be looping the arrow bands that are the hippie bands in my bracelet. So first I'm going to just go inside this peg. I shouldn't have to push any bands back except for this one going across. I'm grabbing the top band, and instead of looping it to where the other end is, I'm just going forwards. And the same with the other side. So all of these bands are just going to be looped forward. And if you want, you can push back all the bands and just grab both of them at the same time and go forwards. It's a little bit neater if you don't do it that way, but it's really your preference. So that's all we're doing. They're just going to the peg above. And I'll do it one at a time for the rest. So grabbing the blue, looping it to the peg above, same on the other side. And always doing that. As always, feel free to rewind if you need to see that looping again, slower. And now that is what it should look like at this point. And lastly, we're going to loop the borders. We're going to be doing the brush strokes border, and I'll try to explain it as best as I can if you're not familiar with that. So I'm going back inside the cap band one last time, or almost last time, grabbing the top border band. Instead of looping it to the peg that the other side belongs to, I'm going to go around to the peg above. So you're always going to go on the outside. And the same goes for the other side, so just going around that peg and looping it above. And then I'm going inside this peg, pushing all the bands back, not going forwards, but going around that peg on the outside. The inside will give a similar look, but not exactly the same. And then looping it to the peg above that. So I tried to explain it best as I could. Hopefully that made sense. And now I'm going to just be doing that forwards. And if you want a better explanation or just more of an explanation, try watching the brushstrokes video by Tiger Girl. I'll put a link in the description box. It should be the first link, and you can watch that so you can just get a different explanation from a different person. But I'm going to be doing that until I reach the top of my loom. My camera died, but now I'm just going to continue doing the border. So I'll go through it once again. You're going to go inside the peg, grab the bottom band, which there should only be one band left unlooped. And then you're going to, instead of going and placing the band on this peg, go around it on the outside and place the band on the peg above. So now I'm going to continue. And by the way, if you follow me on Instagram, my tutorial requests will be open, but I do not do any hook-only tutorials. If the border's hook-only, because that's kind of a common thing now, then that's fine, but I just really don't enjoy doing hook-only tutorials right now, so that might change, but yeah, if you want me to do a video for you, know that I probably won't get to it that soon. But you can DM me on Instagram, preferably on my main account, just because I get a lot of DMs on my spam account already, and my main account is _iCrafts_. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that, because I don't really want to do a second update video, and I can't get through an entire video without mentioning random things, so I'm almost at the top. And these bands are definitely doing a lot better than the glitter bands did as far as stretching goes. So once you get to the top of your loom, for the top you can go around like that, but personally I just think it's easier to go forwards because there's just less bands, and I don't know, I just end it like this. I think it looks a little bit neater. And that is the finished looping process. And it's kind of hard to see if it looks the same because all the bands look a little bit crazy, but the border should look like this. So now I'm just going to remove everything off of my loom, except for this top peg right there, because that's what's holding the entire bracelet together. Now I have taken my bracelet off of the loom. There should be quite a lot of bands on that peg. There's actually not that much adjusting you need to do. Maybe just give it a stretch. You can untwist any bands if you need to, but this is what the back looks like. And I'm going to make an extension. I think most people know how. You can just make a single chain and then just continue and attach your C-clip, but I don't have my C-clip with me right now, so I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'll be back once I've done my extension. So that is how I make the Wasabi bracelet. Once again, this was designed by londonloomer. Make sure to use the hashtags that I mentioned in the beginning. And once again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also, I'm still going to be doing toy reviews, so feel free to comment requests as usual. And I'm pretty excited to be doing both videos now. So thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.